You've just agreed to be the peer reviewer for a manuscript. Where do you start and how do you get going? You're going to find out right now. Hey everybody, I'm Leigh from teachingacademia.com, and I'm all about giving you the tools you need to navigate academia and make your best impact. Today, we're going to talk about how you get started when you've been given a manuscript that you need to peer review. Now, first of all, the process that I'm going to share with you, this is my own process, okay? I think it's important for you to figure out what your process is. But what I have learned over the years is that most of the articles that I receive for peer review are one of two things. First of all, most of them are flat out rejected just because they're just not of high quality, okay? Second, the ones that are not rejected, the ones that get revised and resubmit, while they are fewer in number, most of the authors, in my experience, don't actually revise and resubmit the manuscript. So because I know this straight out of the gate, and because I know that most of the manuscripts I get aren't ready to be sent out for publication or the research wasn't done well, I've developed a certain approach that I think is really appropriate and it allows me to give authors good feedback, but while also protecting my time as well. Okay, so here's how I do this. The first thing that I do is when I read the abstract, I skim the introduction so that I can get a general sense of the problem that the author is studying, all right? And then I find the research question. I print out the page, and just the page that has the research question on it, because I want to keep that research question front and center throughout my review. Everything that I read in a manuscript that I'm reviewing has to align with that research question. And I don't know that research question inside and out because it's not my research question. So I have to keep it front and center. So no matter what your own personal approach is to doing peer review, I highly recommend that at the very least you print out that research question and have it front and center, and so that you can keep in mind what it is you're tying everything back to as you read the article. The next thing that I do is I go straight to the methods section. I'm really looking to see if this is is the study well designed, right? Is it valid and reliable? Because if it's not, if it's poorly designed, if there's not enough data, if the methods are just bad, if the design is flawed, then I really don't need to mess around with the rest of the paper, okay? So this is why I skim the beginning, print off the research question, and then skip straight to the methods, all right? If the methods are bad, then I'm really going to write my review around the methods and why I'm hitting reject, okay? Because I can basically stop there. Now, if I read the methods and I think, okay, I've got some questions, but I think they can be answered, and this doesn't look too bad, this doesn't look like a reject, then I keep going, all right? My next step after I do the reviews and read the analysis is to look at the findings, all right? So are the findings, first of all, has the data been analyzed enough? Because sometimes, and particularly with qualitative data, the data is underanalyzed. And so sometimes I issue a reject, not because the design is bad, but because the author didn't do enough analysis work, and they're going to have to go back and do more analysis work and completely overhaul the paper, all right? So I'm looking for that as well. And then I'm looking for the findings, right, at the findings next. Do the findings align with and fully answer the research question, okay? That's what I'm paying attention to once I've established that the methods are good. Then if the methods are pretty good and the findings are pretty good, then I go back and I look at the rest of the paper. I go back and look at the introduction. I think about those 10 questions that I ask myself when I'm engaging in a peer review process. I'm really diving into those at this point. And I give the paper one full read through and wrap it up by taking a close look at the discussion, the conclusion, the implications. So that's what I'm looking for. That's how I approach it. And I found that it really helps me hone in on if this paper is worth diving into and spending a lot of time on, or if it's methodologically flawed, I can leave specific feedback about that. And then I don't spend a lot of time engaging with the rest of the article, because honestly, there's no reason if it's methodologically flawed. So what process do you use when you're asked to peer review a paper? It could be an article, it could be a conference presentation, anything that you want. Head on down to the comments, put that information there or put questions that you have. I'm going to see you over in the next video.